What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, listen, y'all. So, I think this past weekend we had James Lights Toney versus Donovan Razor Ruddock. Now, let me get this out the way before I before I get to the. Let me just say this. These two got together. They did what they did. Hopefully, for their sake, this isn't I really need the money type fight versus I just got that itch and I just felt like getting back in there. Hopefully for those two, that's what it was. Because if it was about I need money, they fought in Kingston, Jamaica. The building was more than half empty, and the people that was there, I don't even know they're boxing fans. It might have just been okay, we're in Jamaica. Donovan Razor Ruddock's Jamaican. We're supporting him. I just seen a lot of females and just holding up the flag and dancing and it. So I don't even know they were really boxing fans in there. But anyway, those two can't fight anybody but someone their age. So you can't expect more than what they're able to give. And for that to be, and that's anybody, regardless to age. But they're not going to ever get any better than what they are right now. They're only going to go downhill. All James Toney punches look like slaps. He didn't throw not one punch that had anything on it. Razor Ruddock occasionally threw something with a little bit of zip on it, but nothing devastating. So part of you are wondering, most people are probably feeling like, are they holding back? Are they doing the same thing that Roy Jones and Tyson did? Somewhat, yeah. Yeah. Razor Ruddock, landed a couple of shots that might have, had a little bit of something on it, but, it looked like, I don't know what it looked like. It didn't even like a sparring match, man. It just looked like two guys in the ring that didn't really know how to box. Might have was just, that's how bad the skills have declined, of course. Razor Ruddock looked like he got titties, man. The dude got titties. He looked like Carl Winslow. James Toney looking like Mr. Brown. I'm sitting there like, man, that's what it looked like. Mr. Brown versus Carl Winslow. Just watching, and I'm saying that Razor Ruddock, for whatever reason, with that height and that reach, he still decides to smother his own punches and fight, on the inside when he should be on the outside working off his jab. He has a hard time trying to find openings, to create openings to land shots. One of the best things he had going for him in his prime is he had sneak, like he threw his punches sneaky. He never had a high punch output, never. At no point in his career. He always just threw sneaky shots. He depends on that left hook that he calls the smash. That uppercut he calls the smash. He throws it way too much and just predictable. You know what I mean? So he spends most of the time confused trying to figure out how to get to you. James Toney was trying to be slippery and do, the stuff he used to do. And look, the fight wasn't entertaining. So it's one of these things where, I'm not going to sit here and pump it up, man, and try to say things and, gas them up to make it seem like, yo, this was a great fight and y'all still got it. Y'all, like, they're going to do what they're going to do. But, salute to them for doing what they're doing. I'm just being honest about what I saw. It was a 6-round fight, and, it's like if you think, okay, was they really trying to knock each other out, or were they just going through the motions? And when I watched it, I'm like, nah, They're just going through the motions. They're not putting anything behind these shots. Because for them, the shots that wasn't thrown, your reflexes have to be completely shot, like gone. Because there was both times where both of them could have launched on each other and they threw nothing at all. And like I said, Razor was smothering his punches. You got the longer reach, he's 6'3", much longer reach. James Toney's 5'10". And he's still like same thing, fighting on the inside, making the fight harder for himself. And pretty much, I noticed when I looked around, I'm like, are the judges sitting in the crowd or are there judges, right? And I'm like, okay, because it's not supposed to be an exhibition. And then I'm like, okay, I'm sitting there trying to, who put this together? Well, when they were given a decision, and the host or whatever you want to call him, ring announcer, he goes, "There's gonna be no judges. It's going to be the referee's decision." As soon as he said that, I said, "It's a draw." And he just raised both of them. As soon as he said that, and I'm like, okay. Now, it is what it is, y'all. But this is just one of those things where you just feel like, okay, they went in there. If they're going to plan on doing this again, either one of them with anyone else, let me say this. Remember when Bernard Hopkins, was it earlier in this year, when he was talking about if Jake Paul really wanted to step up while he fight James Toney? And I said, nah, he's tripping. Let me tell you why. Years ago, when James Toney first fell off, and you knew he wasn't the same, he looked horrible. Even now, like he's pushing his punches. He's just throwing punches like, you know what I mean? They like no form, nothing, just little slaps. And I said, what reason other than James Toney going there to embarrass himself for a payday? Why would he get in there right now? Because as much as Jake Paul is not a great fighter, or even really a good fighter, he would beat James Toney now. Why? James Toney's completely done. Okay, and look, he's slow. And those punches that he think are fast, or people might think, oh, he talk about his hand speed. Those are slaps. They have nothing on them. Jake Paul would cut that shit and catch him. Jake Paul is too quick for him right now. And basically, unless Jake Paul just was going there launching bombs and missing and tire himself out, he pretty much would be James Toney right now. Okay, so even when Bernard Hopkins said that, I said, see, this is the difference when you see these guys in the gym shadow boxing and you see them doing certain things. And because you respect what they've done in the past, you start using your imagination to make you think that they could still pull it off against certain guys. No, it made no sense. And that's what you don't need to see happen. Is a guy like that, either one of them, jumping in with someone just too young, too strong at this point. They're like finished. Like honestly, watching them, you wouldn't think either one of them ever boxed before. You think like maybe they just tough guys that want to fight and they're up in age and that's how diminished the skills are. You understand what I mean? So yeah, man, look, salute to both of them. They did what they did. I'm not going to tell nobody what they should or shouldn't do. If you want to continue to do these matches, okay, cool. That's they're going to do what they're going to do. But just being real. Razor Ruddock, you got titties. You got a gut. Scrawny legs. In the end of the fourth round, when he was walking back to the corner, like he had to take a dump. You know them old men when they walk, and they be like the arms be behind him and shit. He was walking to the corner like that. His back looked crooked and shit. And I'm like, damn. Like, yeah, that's old age, man. That's old age. When you see guys throwing punches like James Toney, you know how they used to. Now he's like, you understand what I mean? Putting the punch back. Instead of shooting the shit up, he's pulling it back and throwing it like slaps, you know, and I'm just looking at him like, nah, you ain't seen none of that shit. You ain't seen none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't throwing nothing here, boom, boom. He wasn't throwing none of that shit. Everything was like, just, and I'm like, nah. Even when he, you know, nothing. He wasn't shooting nothing out. Nothing was boom, 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 boom. He wasn't doing none of that. Everything was just, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. You know, let them go in there and have their fun. That's all. I don't take that fight serious. Nobody should. You know what I mean? So I'm saying that because, like I said, you got a lot of people that jump up. Oh yeah, man. Yo, he can make a comeback, and yo, him and Tight. Like, stop, y'all. Stop. But you know, they was able to come out there and do what they did. They kept it in their age group, and that was smart. That was you know. But you know what, man? Listen, I done made fun of him and said what I said. I meant it. You know, I'm cracking jokes on him, but I meant everything I just said. You got to know when enough is enough. You know, so you can't possibly sit here and continue to make fools of yourselves talking about Floyd Mayweather's tainting his legacy. How? By making like 30 something $1 million for a freaking exhibition fight and winning and still looking sharp, and people still sitting here comparing him to active fighters now versus guys who are going in there. And they fought in Kingston, Jamaica. Not being funny, let's be real. How much money do you think they really make? You know how much the American dollar is to Jamaican dollars? So I'm just saying, bottom line is, they're not Floyd, and they can't do what Floyd is doing right now. Okay, simple. At some point, Floyd won't be able to. You understand what I mean? And, all right, but as I said, you got to know when to call it quits. You seen what happened when Holyfield came back, right? Okay, just saying. If Holyfield went to jump back in there, everybody be saying, nah, man, Holyfield bugging. Okay, so was Razor Ruddock and James Toney. In fact, some years ago, Razor Ruddock had made a comeback and tried to have a run. I think he won 2 fights and then got knocked out in his last one, got stopped in his last one or something like that. And then I didn't hear anything else from him. And I was watching those fights, and it was like, you know, he was in better shape, much better shape then than he is now. And that was just some, you know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, something like that, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, whatever it was, he basically was done. You know, James Toney was done. So, like I said, man, 2 legends got in there and they did what they did. Hopefully for them, like I said, it wasn't a thing where they started for money. It was just they just had that itch and wanted to get back in it. They did it, you know. Yeah, we saw Carl Winslow versus Mr. Brown, and they called it a draw. And it is what it is, man. So I just felt like speaking on it, man. So, you know, I just wanted to give the fight some light and crack on both of them at the same time. And yeah, it's too much material there, man. If anybody didn't see the fight, you didn't miss anything. If you do watch the fight, though, you're going to find yourself laughing your ass off. I know I did. You know, and it was just one of those things where, like, you know, hey, you got 2 legends getting together. I respect what both of them did. And to be honest with you, for any fighter way past their prime that's coming in the ring, that's how they should do it. Keep it within people within your age group. You know, guys like Roy Jones who think because of his age, like because of, you know, the experience he has, he thinks that, like, he got in there with a guy in his 30s. I forget the guy's name, but he was an MMA fighter. You know, when he beat Roy. And Roy said he's not fighting his opponent, he's fighting the IRS. And it's like, yeah, stop it, Roy. You know, keep it amongst people your age. Because you're at an advanced age to the point you can't do what you used to. You know, so instead of going in there getting embarrassed, losing fights to guys that, you know, it's like that's not boxers. Like, you know, Ngannou, for example, going there, doing what he did against Fury. You know, you got 2 guys in their 30s, and basically the guy that people expected to get destroyed actually went in there and dropped Fury, you know, and messed his face up. But at the end of the day, you know, it's like I feel like Fury brought that on himself. But when you got a guy that's, you know, at an advanced age and the form is all gone, everything, you know. So Roy felt like, oh, I got the experience. And it's like, listen, you have nothing to prove. So what is the purpose of even doing this, right? Going there against guys from your era. So if you're going to go in there and look bad, then both of y'all going to look bad. And at the end of the day, it's just two legends that went there for one final hurrah. That's all. So the same way, it's like if Roy did that because he had IRS problems, okay, well, hopefully for Roy, his IRS problems are taken care of because we see what he has left in the tank, and it's not much. You know, so even when he was talking about, we definitely could do it again, you know, he's going to be better next time, go and learn from this fight. No, nah, Roy, not really. You're over the hill. You understand what I mean? So the only thing he's taking from that is I just be the over the hill guy who went in there and put up a fight. And I respect him because at his age, he went in there and he tried. And yeah, I edged him out, but that was that. You understand what I mean? Learn what? You know? You know, yeah. And I know what Roy is saying, but yeah, learn what? You can't do half of what you used to do. So as far as what he learned, it's going to be much faster, much harder, and a whole different pace fighting against a younger, stronger fighter that's better than what you are now. You understand? And so that guy don't need to be trying to jump in there with world-class guys that's in their prime. Because it wouldn't take a world-class guy. A novice would beat him. You understand what I mean? Like he would, that guy, I forgot his name. Was it Pettis? I forgot his name. I know his face. I don't remember, was it Pettis? But anyway, you know, bottom line, you know, these type of fights, man, is like, keep it amongst the legends, man. Like you know, keep it amongst those guys. Don't, you know, get to the point, man. Everybody see what Jake and Logan Paul are doing. They see what Floyd is doing. They see all these other people, and everybody want to jump back into boxing now. And it's like, you know, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to see that fight. Like as far as like I watched it to make the video. Let me see what they did, and then you know I'll talk about it. But it's not something I want to see. Like looking forward to it. Like, you know, that. And like I said, the last time I saw both guys, they look horrible. So I know damn well years later, you know, they're not going to turn the clock back. So it is what it is. Now that being said, y'all. I done cracked on them. I done gave them their props for going in there. And hopefully they both just come to the conclusion for their own sake that, okay, we don't need to do it again. But, you know, for Razor, man, you need to get rid of them damn titties, man. That's a goddamn shame when you got titties and a pot belly and scrawny legs and look like Carl Winslow. And what made you possess you to jump back in there with Mr. Brown? Like, you know what I mean? Like James Toney, you built like a jelly bean. And you jumped in there looking like a baked potato. Now let me stop, y'all. I'm serious, but I'm just saying, let me stop. Yeah, man, because I want them to understand that I respect what both of them did in the sport of boxing. But it's time to hang it up. Jump back in there again, you know. And they both was huffing and puffing after the first round. He was in the corner. Third round, they were sending Razor Ruddock out, go back in the fight without his mouthpiece. I'm like, man, what? Yeah. You know, I didn't even see, I saw one dude in the corner. You know how you got your cut, man, you got your water gun. I just seen one dude in each corner, like, you know. Yeah, it was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah. But anyway, y'all want some good laughs? Just pull up the fight between these two. And then y'all see exactly what I'm saying. It was one of them things, a lot of things they was doing, it was like a delayed reaction. I'm sitting there and I'm watching it and I'm just like, okay. It was just funny to me, that's all, man, you know. Now, you know I'll roast anybody just because they give me the material to roast them. I mean, y'all jumped in there, man. Flabby and shit, looking like, you know, like, look, what are you doing, man? Like, what the hell were y'all? Anyway, y'all, talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.